Have you ever felt like there's a secret society of agents that, is holding something back, or just, they have that secret that's making them a top producer? Well, today I'm going to unlock that strategy as well as a whole lot more and let you in behind the curtain to the top producing agent room. And I want you to know that you might not be so far from pulling that curtain back. What's up, guys? Jeremy Kane, Real Estate Agent Playbook. Really excited for this one today. But first, as always, please like, comment, subscribe on the YouTube side. If you're listening on the podcast, please share this with your favorite realtor buddies, or even on YouTube, you could share it too. But we're really trying to grow that podcast community. And I got some things in the works for that podcast side that will be solely podcasts. So make sure you're following along on both sides. And I can't wait to get into this one. So let's dive in. All right, so you want the true secret to opening the playbook, right? You're going to these classes, and you're going to these trainings, and everyone's saying, get on social, get online, get on video, all of these things. I heard them all as well. And it was absolutely something that, was hard for me. And I was like, okay, well, why? Like, what's really going on? And when you really step back and look at it, you really need to focus on your avatar. Who are you trying to deliver a message to? Because if you're trying to deliver a message to a certain group of people, they might not like the fancy cars and all the things, right? I'm in the wolf pack. There's absolutely amazing agents out there that are absolutely crushing it. And you would think that, they have the video production, they put a bunch of dollars into fancy cameras and fancy effects and the Porsche that they're getting out of or whatever. And the truth is they do that, but the whole point of that is targeting their audience, right? The people that they want to serve and the people that they work with are, that's something they like, right? That's some of their interests. And so it makes that a little bit easier. But when you really think about it, you're not really trying to serve those people if you feel like that's not you. You don't have the fancy cars, you don't have the fancy cameras, you don't have all that stuff. Well, then why are we using that as an excuse, right? Why are we using that as an excuse? So for instance, in our group, the Batista twins in Seattle, absolutely, crush the luxury brand, do the things, the suits, the cars, the lifestyle, all of that. That is captured on their social media. That is directed towards their target avatar. If I started getting out of Porsches and I started wearing suits every day, my clients would be like, who the hell are you, Jeremy? And I would probably lose all of my business and go from a top producing agent to a bottom producing agent pretty quickly. The bottom line is you have to understand who that target avatar is and build content for them. Right? I'm so sick of the excuses. And even if it's on socials and Facebook and things like that before video, it's like, I don't have the graphic design. I don't have this piece. I don't have that. You want it to look good and you want it to look professional. So absolutely outsource that if you're absolutely terrible at it. But the bottom line is your avatar probably isn't expecting that luxury leather folder that you're sliding across the attorney's table when you're trying to get an attorney to, refer you business. It's a very different scenario. So I don't understand why our socials were so perfectionist, but then our flyers and things like that, we go to Breakthrough Broker, we download them, boom, they're done, put them out there. Right? Show up like you want to show up, like your avatar is expecting you to on socials, and get consistent, and you will start to be a consistency of providing that market value, providing my expertise on investing in real estate that has allowed me to hear from probably 50 to 100 clients. I was watching your video right? I saw that on your video, but what about this? Or any reference to the videos, it all started right there, January 2020, on a consistent basis. You can find some older ones, don't go back and look at those, but that's where it all started. And so you have to start somewhere, providing content, getting better on video, getting better on your presence, getting better about doing it, right? Every single Wednesday since January 2020, with the exception of 2 when I was unable to, go live on the internet, it's been happening. And so that constant consistency, that dedicated effort is what made it happen. It's not even the content, right? It's not even the content in general. In fact, grabbing content, doing that has made me a better agent because I have to watch the market updates from Nicole Ruth. I have to talk to other lenders about what's going on, what they're seeing in the market. I have to talk to other agents about what's working and what's going on, because sure, from my perspective, I can give you the lowdown, but it's not going to be a global actual real estate market kind of perspective. And so it's made me reach out, tons of connections as a result of, just needing to build that content and do that. So I look at content from that perspective and it's like, okay, yeah, that's awesome. Let's make that happen. I need to go make sure I have coffee with that top producing agent, see what they're doing that works. I need to bring that person on my YouTube channel so they can share what's working because they're absolutely crushing it. And the relationships that I've built there as a, secondary, performance of wanting to have that content to put out there. And now I have these relationships and now I have content. And so it's all about, how you look at it. And if you look at it as like, I have to create content so I get clients, it probably won't convert as well. So moving into, the magic, the secret sauce, right? Every agent that I've ever talked to and every person says your best CRM is the one you use. So the best platform is the one you use, right? If I have a CRM, it's got all my people in there and I look at it once a month and, have somebody else manage it and do all of that and they're not really in the day-to-day, then guess what? That's not going to be a very good tool for my business. But if I'm engaging with my CRM, if I'm adding people to it, if I'm keeping notes in there, if I'm checking in on it daily, maybe using the task manager or the calendar that some of them provide, then all of a sudden I'm using it and it becomes a tool that makes sense. Do the same thing with social media. Use it as a tool. Try not to get into doomsday scrolling. I still go there, so don't feel bad if you do. But if you're using it as a tool to engage, right? So when I think of Facebook, when I think of Instagram, when I think of the platforms that I utilize to build my production business, I'm like, okay, what's Facebook provide? Well, Facebook provides a place where people just explain their entire lives right there in living color, whether it's posts, videos, whatever. So I can see when people have life-changing events when they might need to move for real estate. So if I am constantly engaging with people in my sphere and building that network and adding friends and doing the thing, that's great, right? It's also great if I'm providing content because here's the worst thing you can do. Oh, Johnny's dad passed away. I'm going to reach out and I'm going to say, I'm so sorry. Let me know if you need help with the real estate. It's probably not going to go as far as, oh, Jeremy reached out and asked me how my dad was doing because he saw that he was getting sick, or, he likes my comments, or he, donated a little bit of money the last time I posted one of my kids' fundraiser events on there, or whatever that is. If you constantly are in that presence and you're engaging with them just as much as they're engaging with you, but then when you're engaging with them, here's what they're going to do. They're going to click on your profile. And if they look at your profile and they can't tell anything about you, you haven't posted since 2014, then it's kind of a dead end road there. So that's the whole point, is the CRM that you use is the best CRM for you. The social media platform, the internet piece that you use is the best platform for you. Now, that's not to say not to get on it, because here's the secret, right? Drum roll, please. The secret is when you're in those top producing rooms with agents and you pull back the curtain, right? Sean and Scott Batista, Shane Cavallo, Noah Ward, all of these great top producers in the Wolfpack, right? Nikki Wilson, all of them absolutely have a presence on a social media platform and they do well. But if you ask them, where their business comes from, they might say Instagram just on the surface, but they're going to talk about their sphere of influence eventually. They're going to talk about how they're nurturing their sphere. So the truth is that Instagram and TikTok and social media are absolutely pieces to the puzzle, but it's the service and the delivery and the community that's developed after engagement online, right? Shockingly enough, the Batista twins, we keep going back to them because they have a pretty prolific Instagram profile. They were on a call with us, as we have group calls all the time, and they're talking about how they utilize Instagram. One of the first things they said behind consistency was they go engage with other profiles. They like other people's profiles. They comment on other people's profiles. They're outgoing. So everyone is so focused on what we're posting, what's going on, but they're not focused on using the full platform, right? They're not focused on keeping in touch with people, keeping, tabs on possible transactions. They don't focus on that. right? Because then if you keep tabs on people, you're building those relationships, boom, life event happens, then you're gonna be top of mind. They're gonna go to your social profile and then they're gonna call you. And then it's about showing up in person, building that up, right? And then you provide a good service, then they're gonna refer you to their friends. They might say, hey, go check out Sean's, Instagram profile. They might say, hey, go check out No Awards TikTok or whatever that is, but that's where they're gonna go, right? And so the whole point is that yes, social platforms are amazing, the internet's amazing, all of these things as a tool, it's not gonna do your business for you. If you're trying to go from this, run a real estate business on Instagram, it's probably not gonna happen. Run a marketing platform on the social media platform, get them in your real estate business, and then execute. And that is the secret, because then what happens, right? Then they go to your Instagram, they leave a review, right? And all of a sudden we're building this portfolio of, reviews and testimonials and, stories, right? And people relate to stories not as much as, hey, that's Jeremy out on his boat, like he's a rich real estate agent, whatever. So if you notice on my production channel, unless it's family oriented, I'm showing something I'm doing with my family, I'm not showing, my boat and my car and all of that stuff, because that's not what my production, SOI wants, right? That's not where it's at. So we do have this culture of imposter syndrome. And I'm here to tell you that, imposter syndrome kind of goes two ways, right? Don't hide behind imposter syndrome and make it an excuse, but also like, if you're not in the driver's seat as an agent and you're not knowing your market and you're not, a top producing agent, maybe you shouldn't be out there, providing advice like you are, right? So we need to make sure that we're having that balance, but let's make sure that we're doing what we need to do to stay top of mind. Because I don't care if you've sold real estate for a long time, this digital portfolio that we've talked about so much on this channel is absolutely something you need to dial into. So I hope that helps a ton, and I hope you got a little secret today of, what's going on. And I would like for you to comment below just what secret or what did I say today that resonated with you, and we can follow up, we can book a call, we can do whatever, because I'm here to help you serve, get another win today, and absolutely crush the game of real estate. We'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.